There you go. Hello. Uh-oh. Cat attack. What cat attack? Mo and I are fighting over the use of this chair. He kind of thinks it's his. Hello, Mr. Mo. Hello, Mr. Mo. Yeah. Oh, no, he's pissed off now. Look at that angry animal. Don't worry. We get along fine. He just wants some kitty attention. He knows what he's smart. He's there every time I stream. You got your 9th and 10th 100% today. I got the 0 100%. I think it's a calibration issue, but it's nothing I can fix. So yeah, well, somebody says hi. He doesn't. He's like, hey. He's fine. He's doing good. He's actually fine. He doesn't look good, but he is fine. I guess he's an older cat. It happens that cats get old. He won't be around forever. Cheers! Look at this. I got a freshly poured glass of Diet Coke. Why? It's because I'm obsessive. Plus, I like Diet Coke, kinda. I don't. Let me put this. Let me rephrase that. I don't hate it. Okay, it is good. Oh, this is a good. It's the same every time. It's brown. It's cold. It's effervescent. It's reliable. It's that reliability that I appreciate. Okay, let's talk a little bit about today's stream in case you've never come here before. There's always a chance that somebody is here is just like, what is going on there? What am I going to see if I stick around long enough? Which I won't. But I'll tell you anyway. You're going to see some Microsoft Flight Simulatoring. That'll be for roughly 50 minutes or so, 55, maybe an hour. Kind of depends on just how I feel about the various random missions that I have not decided on in advance. I never do. Sometimes I think about a plane that I want to fly. Like I kind of want to fly the Islander today, the Britain Islander. A fun one. Don't know where we're gonna go. We'll check it out later though. I got to boot it up 2024, so it's ready to go. There'll be the big brain games. Now that segment, I turn off the simulator. We go into the browser. We bring up today's daily brain games. There's quite a few of them. I don't do every single one of them there is to do on a daily basis, but I do a bunch of them because we do the Quirtle, we do the Octurtle, we do the Reveal, we do the Tightrope Trivia. Today's the hardest one. I guess likely will kick my ass. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person or anything. And then the New York Times Connections puzzle could also kick my ass. I just enjoy doing them, so just things I like to do on a daily basis. Might as well do them on stream. Then there'll be the short break. And as always, the last half of my show, last rough hour of my show is a live musical performance by moi. Sound just cut out. Ooh, check it on your side. Because I'm not showing any dropped frames. Interesting, though. I can see it happening. See, it's my mixer. I'm looking at my mixer, and it's not showing kind of like the microphone not working or anything like that. Well, okay. Because you indicated maybe there's an issue, I just want to double check by watching my stream. Maybe it's a streaming problem. And I wouldn't want to stream for a long time. The only way I can know for sure is to monitor my own channel here and see if I'm hearing myself recently speaking anything. All right, it's on your end. But I'm sure it'll be fine. So, reboot, restart. Yeah, it's... Oh, really? In and out. Actually, let me give myself a little bit longer. At least for a few seconds. Let me see if that's an issue. Because, yeah, I mean, I want to hear if it's technical issues. I want them reported. I want to know. Okay. Now I'm not saying anything, so I can't tell if I'm cutting in or not. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, check 5. This is going to be hard. All right, I'm watching myself. I'm watching myself like 2 seconds later, mostly out. Yeah, check your side because I'm not able to reproduce any sound issues. Hear that echo? No. Hear that echo? No. Okay, because that's I'm listening to my own stream. You hear me now? Interesting. Yeah, I'm just wondering. It might be on your side. Let's monitor it because I'm not showing. Yeah, I'm not showing. I'm thinking it might be on your side. Again, I'm monitoring my stream using a different PC, and I'm not having any issue receiving what I'm saying seconds later, going through the whole Twitch loop. So I'm kind of anyway. Let's go to the flight simulator. I can't really If it is a problem, someone else will notice it. You know what I mean? But I didn't notice it. I really did just kind of bring up my own stream. I don't like keeping it up there because it's too much. On my other PC, I think it could be you, but I don't know. I mean, because every time I look at my own stream, yeah, there's plenty of sound. Yeah. Um, huh. I would try it. Try another streamer on YouTube stream and see if it's other streamers are okay. Because it might be on your end. I'm not. I'm monitoring my Twitch stream, not my YouTube stream, but I can't imagine that they're different. Actually, let me check one thing here. When we go back here, I'm going to look at my readout for YouTube. See if it says anything. Yeah, YouTube is showing stream health is healthy. So, I'm not showing any issues on my. You see here. You see how tiny my viewership is. We have 4 people, but the stream health would show issues here. It's if it were on my end. I kind of think it might be on your end or like your internet provider end. But as I say, there's other people. If we get more data, and I'm not doing anything new. I'm not doing anything different. By the way, I want to fly around 2020. I just do it sometime. So probably maybe not tomorrow. No, tomorrow's a stream, right? Tomorrow's Monday. Right, so the Islander, we get 4 different kinds: cargo, the Islander, the long nose, and the sea rescue plane. We'll just do the regular one. We're just going to do the regular passenger version. And they're pretty much all the same. We got more livery choices for this version, though. And there's some crazy ones. Oh, 007 Spectre, where it's black. I mean, that's too much. Oh my, we got like 50. It comes with like 50 pictures again. Yeah, try Twitch and let me know if it's YouTube and Twitch or something else. Because I guess I could monitor my YouTube live here. Let me just see. YouTube. And then, let's see, my own channel. View your channel. If it may only be... my own channel. Okay, so I'm now monitoring on my other screen, listening to myself talk on YouTube. It sounds exactly the same as I expected to. So, I almost think that maybe, if somebody else that's not Hobie Gal also reports an audio issue or has an audio issue, please let me know. Really, yeah, I think you need to reboot your phone or something. It sounds like maybe the YouTube app is having problems. Because I just tried it on my browser on YouTube. It's the same stream. It's the same bits, basically. All right, I got to pick. Oh man, we got to pick from like what are these 30 things here? Well, the good news is that there's a very little chance we've ever used one of these before. How about Shetland? I like the sound of that. The blue. Shetland.gov. Now we're not going to be flying anywhere near the Shetland Islands, but that doesn't matter to me. All right, so what do we got here? It's an Islander. Doesn't mean we have to fly between islands, although it is pretty fun to try to land this on those teeny little runways. All right, what do we got down here? Where's that really teeny one? Isn't it like here? One of these. Like that one's pretty small, but it's not hard. This is pretty challenging, if I remember correctly. And what about this one? That's not too bad. But yeah, there's some fun islands to fly around here. Let's try it. Okay, is there a place to cold start? Wow, there's one ramp here. And it's 25 feet under asphalt. Should be able to do it. You're watching YouTube on Apple TV. I have an Apple TV. Do you know how to you double click on one of the on a button to bring up effectively the application, and then you can swipe the application to close an application without having to reboot the whole device. Anyway, it's a long story. Because yeah, it's weird that YouTube doesn't work and Twitch does as an app. Then it's probably the app or something about it. All right, let's take off from here. Let's see if this works. I don't think I ever remember taking off from this tiny little island airport. But it looks kind of cool. It's not that tiny. I've seen bigger. I mean, I've seen smaller. But it's a first time for everything. There's this beautiful Islander. 2 engines. The wheels don't come up; they're fixed. All right. You see, got all the covers on. Hopefully, when we do this, all the covers are off. Well, no, there's a little. We have to operate this here. Before I forget, make sure to turn all these off. This removes the covers and the boarding steps, and now we are prepared for starting. Now, remember the startup procedure. You're supposed to open. You got to open the window, and we're not quite there yet, but we're gonna have to do the whole clear prop thing. All right, here's the throttle. Open that to there. The propellers, I think we want to about there. I think we start with mixture right around full at sea level. We got some batteries and stuff to turn on here. Let's see, the battery master is there, and we turn the generators on now, and external power on. I don't really think you need that. All right, so the first thing we're going to turn on is the beacon lights. It's traditionally that will let people know out. If it were nighttime, it'd be more important. Let people know outside that we're about to start the engines. All right, these fuel selectors have to face forward to have the tanks be open. But there's left and right tank for the left and right engine. All right, we're gonna get ready to let's see what we need here. Oh yeah, fuel pumps on for takeoff until we get to cruise. Let's see, avionics not on yet. Let's see, the fuel valves are on. We're on. We can do that. We're there for properly there. Let's see, doors are shut. Not gonna be using these quite yet. It's just been a while. It's always been at least a few weeks before I've flown one of these, and while I am pretty, I've flown it quite a bit. There's always a few things I forget. All right, we're ready to start the left engine. We go over there. We have clear prop on the left side there. We're gonna start now. On this engine, for whatever reason, I believe you give it a few rounds, and then you slam magnetos on, and there you go. Started. And it seems to be coming up to a stable RPM for warm up. Very nice. All right, same with the right engine. You look out the right side. You yell prop clear, clear prop, whatever. I don't know. All right, so you're gonna hold this for a couple seconds. Let them come around a bit, and then you slam on the magnetos. And there we go. That engine seems to be spinning too. All right, we're gonna close the window. It's pretty loud in here. It definitely helps. All right, time to turn on our avionics. We'll switch over here. Get the Garmin booted. Let's see, all this stuff is on. We're gonna want nav lights, cabin lights, signs, pitot. I don't think we need deep airframe de-icing. There's 3 de-icing. There's a pitot tube heater and 2 de-icing systems, and a windscreen heat. I think we should try flying this in icy, because I always do tropical, because it's the thing. Okay, where's the enter? There we go. Now that's gonna boot up. But I do enjoy this plane a lot. All right, let's see if our radio systems are working. So we're on Union Island. I don't even know where that is. I mean, obviously it is where we are. You know what I'm saying? But in the real world, no idea. I assume you have to take off towards the water, which is that direction. So we're going to be heading, let's see, I guess we're really taking off to the east. All right. All right, parking brake off. I guess we have to turn this way. More. Acknowledge the clearance.
Taxiing, hold short runway 08 using taxiway. KNSH 999.
Yeah, but I don't know why I guess that just to make this little turn here. We're going to need this whole runway, so we're going to come in down here. We're going to turn right. We're going to make a turn around, head out towards the water. Looks like from in here, got all those little cables flying around. It's a really fun, detailed simulation. All right, so trim to slightly positive and flaps to the mid, the so-called TO position, takeoff, which is mid. Flaps have 2 positions, takeoff and landing, and not, and 0. Very simple. Nice, simple system. Keeps things nice and simple. I love this little area here where it's like little buildings and kind of like this like nook area here. I have no idea if Union Island is a nice place to visit, but we're going to fly around it and check it out. There's a lot of Caribbean islands. I have not seen all of them. Right, so flaps to there. And takeoff trim just slightly positive, and then it will just basically come right off the runway.
Tower, KNSH 9er ready at runway 08.
Niner. That guy can say it right. Alright, engines look good. Takeoff clearance looks good.
Clear for takeoff, runway 08.
By the way, I want to check something before takeoff. It just, do I have the time of day and weather set? I believe I have time of day, yes. And weather is set to live. So whatever it is, I've been to the Caribbean a bunch of times and it's always cloudy. Even the best way, I mean, there's always clouds. It's never like clear blue skies like this. All right, move these up there. We don't need this. We got everything kind of going. We're gonna head down the runway to the working part of the runway here. I think you would probably need the whole runway. And again, when you're landing, you really have to land from the water because we definitely have wind in our favor. So as soon as we get up to about 90 knots, the plane's just going to want to take right off. It's not an excessive, it's only 2,500 feet of runway. But we can operate on those in this plane. All right, so flaps back. Again, there's no gear to retract. Now, before we go anywhere, these are other islands, but I want to fly around the island, see what it's like. Yeah, Twitch has ads. That's the thing. I forgot. I see. By the way, I'm reacting real late because I was concentrating on the takeoff there. But Hobie, yeah, that's the thing. I don't want people to have to go to Twitch because of the ad. I have the ads set to minimum, but there's still going to be ads if you're not a subscriber, and I don't mind that. All right, so there's the little. This is the little tiny island, and you see lots of islands in the distance all around. It's not like, it's not like we can't find the next island to fly to. Oh, I forgot to acknowledge transmissions. But yeah, it's the that's why I'm like, anybody right away if somebody comes to Twitch and it's like, oh, you're cool. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to watch your shows. I'm like, well, by the way, make sure that you should understand that I also stream on YouTube, and there's no commercials. There's no ads on YouTube because I'm not monetized. This is a very interesting looking island. It's not big. You can see that, I mean, considering how small it is, it definitely has a population. I'm sure it's got some resorts somewhere, but I don't see any. I guess it was called Union Island. But yeah, if somebody's on YouTube and it's like, oh, I'm having issues with the audio, let me know. But I can't think of any reason why there would be, audio issues specific to YouTube, unless it was on the client side. It's a beautiful bay here. You got a little hidden beach, those little hidden beaches there. People are living there, but still. And we got some cargo ship activity out here in the Royal Clipper. And it's more of a fishing. It's got a helicopter. Pretty say. Could be fishing, could be cable layer. Actually, I think that's a cable. We're gonna head around, basically circling this whole island. It's not a very fast plane, so it's a great sightseer. Kinch niner on the side. And then we are looking at the ground coming up at us at an alarmingly fast rate. Okay. This is the Shetland government. All right, we basically, there's nothing on this side. I think everything that's going to be like a resort is going to be right over on this here, pretty close to the airport. Okay, it says Clifton. So I don't know if Clifton is a town on Union Island. Clifton has one of those very British names, like it was a British colony at some point. It's pretty tiny. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on around here. But any kind of like, there's fishing boats, they're gonna be, or pleasure crafts, they can hook up here. You see all the coral reefs down there. It's probably a lot of good snorkeling. This is Clifton right there, right? Clifton. That is just a really rustic looking island town, though. Yeah, I'm sure there's some hotels and resorts, but they're probably those really kind of laid back ones where there's just a lot of like little bungalows around a central area. It says Union Island International. And I mean, technically, all these island airports are international because they're different countries. So anytime you fly from one island to another, it's an international flight. Okay, so yeah, this is where most of the people are. Okay, right near to the airport. And there's, I don't know, I didn't see anything that you know, it looked to me like a major resort. But I'm sure they're hidden around here if people want a quieter vacation. Of course, you're in the Caribbean. The weather is great. The water is amazing. The setting is fantabulous. You want to sit on the beach and drink your Corona with lime. This is where you're going to be doing it. This actually looks like a resort island here. Like it's been kind of set up around. You see what I mean? Like there's bungalows. There's a main building there. You got this little lagoon area or something. I don't know. I've just never been here before, so I want to check it out. Here it is. All right, let's head up to one of the bigger islands. I like the wave effect too. Doing pretty good again. Really looks like from this altitude, roughly 600 feet. My favorite altitude in the game. All right, this is what looks like for me here. Okay, so what I want to do is check a few things around the engine. Like we're kind of under rotating here. There's an optimal speed for the propellers, and there's this. I'm going to zoom in on a second. It says port starboard. RPM times 1,000. Then there's a green area, a yellow area, and a red area. Red is for takeoff only. Yellow is for performance maneuvers. Green is for cruising, but the closer you get to the top of the green range, the more efficient your propellers are operating. So it changes the speed of the propellers, but not the pitch. I think I'm pretty sure. I want to give us a little more negative trim here to keep the nose down. Not that much, maybe right there. Because I want to stay low. Look at these people. Okay, we took off from that island there, Union Island or whatever it's in Clifton. And these are barely inhabited, but you can see all these little atolls and submerged coral reefs, which probably represent quite the hazard for boaters. You know, some places these coral reefs are just below the surface, thus the waves, but you can barely see them. That's why you need good charts to sail around these areas. It's not as simple as you think to go from point A to point B. Yeah, we're leaving your airspace. We're going to somebody else's airspace, all right. Ooh, what's this over here?
Tower, KNSH 9er, frequency change.
There's a little beach over here. I don't know if anybody's here. It looks like one of these boat-in island. Boat-in only. You boat in, you have your picnic. A bunch of boats here, though. It might be a tourist spot right here. It's quite pretty. I guess there's some buildings here. But I don't know if anybody lives here, really around. Maybe that's a little resort. Maybe there's a little village around there. Pretty. All right, let's head back this way, northeast. I saw a bigger island over there. Which means there should be a nice challenger one. Not that one. This one up here. What does it say? Corcoran? Canoan. It's another one of these weird southern Caribbean islands. Of course, I should do Bermuda too. That's like the northern. And Barbados, kind of the northern Caribbean. Is it sailing? I don't know. It's like a bright orange or something. We're gonna swoop in low, Charlestown. Okay. All right. So how are we going here? Airspeed looks nice. We're doing about 120 knots. Altitude's around 300 feet. Too low. I don't care. What are you gonna do? All right, we gotta bring our mixture down a little bit more. Be a nice efficient realm there. I strive for efficiency. And again, you can go faster in this plane, but it is because see, it's not a very because the wing, it's not the landing gear does not retract. It's definitely not designed for high speed operation. A little bit more than that there. Okay. Yeah, we've definitely not too long ago, I believe, landed and took off from this runway. Not the one back there. There's quite a few in the area. But this one's starting to look kind of familiar as opposed to the previous one. This is a bigger island, and we would definitely need more runway to land to take off. It says here, we've already made it to another island. Charlestown, that's not the island, though. I think that's the island. And Charlestown is the pirate settlement back in pirate days. Canoan is the name of the airport. I think that's the island. I don't really know for sure. It's got there's a reef out there, and it's got this airport here, which it looks like it may have been on reclaimed land for the runway. And then you got your bay over here. Just look like it from here. You do get these nice tinted windows. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get too close because the buildings are kind of simplified models. I don't see anything here that looks like a unique model. Which is fine, but pretty island still. Go over here. I want to see what's on the other side of this. Who knows? Maybe no human being has ever explored in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I do like the color of the water here. It looks very desirable to get in, and it is. It's warm. It's relatively clean. I mean, you don't see a lot of kelp beds. It's not a lot of seaweed on the beaches. And this whole area here looks like it's very shallow. Like the waves maybe break way out there. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, you can barely get boats. Some very small boats in this bay here. It's shallow. Interesting. Not much here, but hey, what is there looks like it would be interesting. There's like switchback trails down here. Okay. Probably a lot of houses, buried in there. Another beautiful Caribbean island. I want to explore them all someday. Why not? Especially in the beautiful Islander, which is a great fun plane. And especially for these island trips. All right, let's head up to this island over here. We're going to land. There'll probably be it shouldn't take us more than 15 minutes, so it'll probably be another quick flight somewhere. Just to kind of check out, make sure that some random planes that I don't give love to that are in my hangar has 100 planes in it. Just give them some love. Not necessarily massive love, cold starting, taking off, landing. Okay, so these on the left here are your engine instruments. You want those all to be in the green, and they are. Like fuel pressure, oil pressure, oil temperature. Yeah, it looks good. We have excess fuel, but that's fine. All right, so let's look at our flight planner. It should be about a 5-minute flight up here. To this next island, but what is the island, right? It's this one up here. Actually, is this the hard one up to the right? Which one is this one? TVSB. But that's the name of the airport. I wish they'd give you the name of the island. Oh, the big island here. Is this Martinique or something here? Or one of those major islands. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Okay. Well, let's just fly over some of the islands. But for the point of the landing, I think this TVSM is going to be a nice challenge, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay. And it's only a few minutes away. It's not here, but it's right there. Let's see where you do that there. How many miles does it say? All right, so to get there, just for funsies, all right, that's the right direction. I'm gonna turn the autopilot on. Something I don't normally do. Okay, that's the right direction. All right, so we want to set our direction to be 63 degrees on our heading, and and that's set here. So heading to 63 degrees, 64 is good enough. Okay. And then we're going to go to our autopilot controls, which are here. Autopilot on, heading select on, and altitude hold mode. That'll keep us at about 700 feet for the whole duration. No reason to go high up since we're just going back down again. Alright, so now we're set to... Wait, why are we not set? This is on, right? Heading select is on. Altitude hold mode. I don't know if it's holding. It is holding altitude, but I don't know if it's holding. I don't know why. If I make a left turn, what was this? Okay, so it is responding to the heading compass. And the bug cap. So these are slightly different things. Heading compass and heading bug. Interesting. Not 100% sure I understand that system. That's fine. I'd have to play with it. Alright, so in a few minutes we're going to be landing. Before we do, I'm actually going to do a little circle island though. I'm not just going to land. We could, but I'm not going to. Okay, does it say anything useful? Yeah, Mustique. M-U-S-T-I-Q-U-E. Mustique. That one is definitely a pretty, I mean, at least I've heard of it. Right, so we want to make a right turn. We do this, like, you know, like that. Right, make a right turn. So there. It shows 57 degrees, but I'm heading 73 degrees. Not 100% sure how that works, but it's definitely following this. That's interesting. It's showing, it's definitely using the heading bug. I mean, I can turn with this dial here, but it's showing me, oh, I want to go to 56 degrees, and it's showing me going 72 degrees. And so it's showing my heading is it's just, in other words, I don't know what's going on with the autopilot. That's slightly messed up from what I can tell. Unless I'm not understanding how the autopilot works, and it's very just on heading select mode, meaning whatever heading I select there is the one it should go. And so it should be going about 59 degrees, but I'm going 72 degrees. But it is controlling it. I'm not, all right, let's turn the autopilot off. Autopilot's up. I'm gonna fly the plane, I don't care. I just wanna check out this island a little bit, so we're gonna like start over on this end here. And then come around. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. I haven't used the autopilot on this one, or in general, even in the simulation since SU4 came out, I believe. And now I'm wondering whether there were some changes, so it may even be more realistic. But I don't understand if I set normally if I set a course to 90 degrees in the autopilot, and then say turn the autopilot on, it goes 90 degrees. It'll correct your course to 90 degrees and hold it. And it was definitely offset from that. I want to come around the kind of backside of this island here. Look out this window here and check out the ground from here. But we still got plenty of fuel. So Mustique. Again, it seems like this one at least has, it's not like wall-to-wall people. There's definitely undeveloped parts of the island. I think when you get closer to the airport, you see there are several kind of mid-sized resorts. I think that might be kind of one there. It's like kind of maybe a small hotel on a beach. But no, I think, yeah. Oh, okay. And there's some houses on the hillside here. So yeah, Mustique Island, and it is a challenging, very short runway. You'll see. But this plane will land short. See, there's that little runway, and there's kind of hills on each side of it. So you kind of end up landing. Either way you're landing, it's not direct water. You can see there's quite a bit of hillside. I think the other direction is going to be better. Mystique is pretty quiet. There's definitely a bigger runway on that big island up ahead. That's, I guess, Martinique or Dominica. But I think we can figure it out. And it's a beautiful late afternoon. According to the weather, it's pretty relatively cloud-free, but I don't know. Maybe that's just because it's January. In the summer months, it's going to be a lot more, humidity, much higher humidity, and almost never any kind of clear skies. It's beautiful even when it's not clear skies, but it's just not really that sunny all the time. Beautiful, but hey, I'm not complaining. It looks really good. Sparkle from the emerald waters. Pleasure craft. So yeah, the airport is like one of the biggest things on the island, but I think, yeah, there's some resorts there and over there in there. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Well, I'm just guessing. All right, here's a challenge. The challenge is to land at this little tiny airport back here, that one right there. Have I done it before in this plane? I don't think so. It's pretty basic to land. You know, you have the flaps. But I don't have access to my thrust reversers, I think. We'll see. So there's always the issue of landing along and heading off the edge of the runway. All right, once we've got enough separation here between us and the runway, we're going to make a sharp turn. A 180-degree turn. We're almost there. Okay, I don't want to be anything over 1,000 feet, really. We will lose some altitude during this turn and speed. So just a little more power here. Perfect. All right, left turn, and it's a coordinated turn using the rudder. So it's a pretty fast turn, but you know, you get used to it. Okay, as soon as we have the runway in sight right here, there it is. Slow down a little more. We're going to flaps to position 1. All right, is that the correct lineup? I better check here. Yeah, okay, we're about the right place. All right, flaps to position 2. Reduce power. Can I see this runway? Oh, I can. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Basically, I don't need this anymore. We're just going to eyeball it. You will hear some changes to the sound. That's me reducing the throttle and propeller RPM. So if you're listening to these sound effects, those are quite obvious. But we're going to kind of almost graze this hill up here. I think I've seen some videos. I'm not sure it's this one, but you know, people film coming in right over a hill onto one of these Caribbean islands here. So speed is about 90. Okay, don't want to go much slower than this. Actually, we can go a little slower than that. But you basically have to graze these trees in order to get your slope here. So yeah, not hitting the trees is kind of a priority, but you know, if you're not grazing them, you're going to be too high. So we're basically going to do tree trimming right here. Should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah, okay, we trimmed that tree. It needed it. Then you got to zoom down here to trim that tree. A little tree trimming necessary. Okay, now that we've acquired the runway, I'm backing off entirely on the power. Do a little tree trimming for them while we're out there. And there you go. Perfectly good landing. It's the Barts. Yeah, this is a much smaller version of Barts. Barts is more famous. But that's kind of cool, though. It is. You are brushing that hill there, that hillside there. I wonder what it looked like from the outside. Okay, flaps up. Perfectly good landing. Also, I was a little conservative with use of the runway, but it is a short runway. I mean, it's a short. I mean, the plane is designed for short field operation. Oh, accidentally, one of my engines shut off. That's all right. I don't need one. In this plane, when you shut the throttle down to 0, when you don't have to shut that, even if the mixture is at full, and many planes will not do this. Even if the mixture is at full, if you shut the throttle to 0, you will shut down the engines. It's kind of a unique quirk of the Islander. So one of my engines is working, that one. I don't know why one of them got shut down. That one's just sitting there. I could restart it, but I only have one engine from it. It's got the wrong engine for this turn. Am I stuck? It's for power. Interesting. It's like my wheel is kind of messed up, but I can't turn it. Interesting. I'd have to start the engine to move, and I don't care at this point. All right, so I set my throttle to 0. I just want to point out. I don't know why, again, since they should be the same, but I think that engine will actually it'll actually shut off. I could restart it, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's gonna shut off. And that's with the mixture set full. Okay, wait, is that stable or is it going down to 0? I'm looking at the RPM, 480. No, it's stable at 480. And that's with the mixture at 0. Or at full. But the other engine shut down. It's kind of confusing. I wonder if it's messed up in some weird way. Not messed up, but you get the picture. All right, let's open the doors. All the doors, there's 4 separate sets of doors. Cargo door, there's that door. There's the passenger door, the cargo door. There's the front door, which you wouldn't normally use. Got an emergency exit door, and then the side one there. Got to be careful about opening those doors when the propellers are spinning, though. Look how close they get. You know? Wow. But you normally wouldn't want to open. It's a cool plane, though. All right, basically, I'm just going to leave it like this. Let's see. I think we have some photo opportunities here. Always kind of up against this little airport here. And with the Shetland.gov UK, it has to say Kenchininer Niner Niner. I also have this side that says Kenchininer Niner Niner. We also have all the kind of the property. Hold on, a little lower. There we go. You can barely tell it's a plane from some angles, though. You know what I mean? All right, there you go. There's your screenshot of the day. All right. Is somebody flying around here? What? Somebody starting an engine over there? Can't really tell. All right, get back in the plane. All right, well, that was it. Are we going to have another short flight? Yeah, somewhere, but not around here. And mainly just because I have another 10-15 minutes of the segment to kill. What's it going to be? Don't know. Let me pick a different plane. That's something that I can just take out and say, oh, yeah, we did a test flight. But it's fun, you know. I always enjoy kind of thing. Let's see. That we haven't flown a lot. You know, give some love to some of these planes that are, you know, that I don't fly a lot. I keep saying that. How about the A-10C Thunderbolt? I would never fly that. Never. I mean, occasionally. It's not okay. All we get is two-tone gray. That is cheesy. I'm not buying anything. All right, two-tone gray. We're gonna do a quick takeoff and land somewhere. Not probably in the Caribbean, unless it's a big airport. We did Florida recently. We did Cancun. Let's see. It's real rainy over there. How about? I bet it's starting to get nice in Australia. Where would we fly though? Kind of more like the Melbourne area, I would think. It's cloudy but nice. All right, so we got a departure here. I'm not cold starting it. It's just 2 jet engines that you gotta, you know, turn on, spin around. But I am flying around because, you know, it's just fun. It's fun. It's fun to have all these wacky planes. And it has been a New York minute since I've flown the A-10. Somebody's called the Warthog, but it's not the. That's the nickname. It's technically the Thunderbird or Thunderbolt or something. Thunderbolt.
Straight out departure.
But everyone seems to know it is the Warthog. Okay, check out all the systems. Looks beautiful. Let me just check out all the different cockpit views here. That's one. That's another. A lot of buttons. Some of them actually do something. More buttons. Engine controls. Oh, that's not useful. Thank you anyway. Out the side. Out the other side. Okay, let's just see the pilot view. All right. We're already, excuse me, cleared for takeoff. Let's fly around. We're going to check out Melbourne. Okay, so flaps are set. Takeoff trim is set. I want to check one thing. Do I have air brakes? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's air brakes on the outside of the wings. And they're analog, so I can control them, right? Like a little bit more, a little bit less. Perfect. Okay, nice. All right, I just want to get, all right. Let these jets spin up here. There they go. And then release your brake. There we go. It's like we're making power on the engines. We're at 92%. Is that as much you can get? You think you can get 100% out of the engines? Oh, anyway, let's fly around. All right, gear up, flaps up, trim back to something normal, and start routing. Okay, which way is Melbourne? Melbourne is to the east. Yeah, it's this way. But there's a little bit of kind of, you know, rural and suburban areas to go through. I think I've done this before. It's starting to look a little familiar. But it's only about 15 miles, and at these speeds, it'll take no time at all. I just want to double check I'm heading the right direction. Okay, yeah, Melbourne is kind of here, and we're approximately, I don't know, maybe 20 miles, but it's fast. We'll keep going. We'll keep the speed up here. I mean, this is, you know, it's not a training craft. It's an actual military jet that is used for missions. So it has to be reasonably fast, but it's not supersonic. It's more designed as a platform, weapons platform. So, and people always predicted because of that, because it's too slow, and this is kind of more vulnerable to ground launch missiles than fast planes are. That maybe it's not safe enough in a battle situation, but I don't know. Apparently, it is. And the other thing, it was the last military plane that was ever designed around air-to-air guns. It's got this massive, called the Vulcan cannon there. You see it's 6-barrel, 20 millimeter cannon shells, 20 mil, big ass. Launch out of there at like 800 per minute or something like that, something ridiculous through that spinning thing. It's impressive. But, you know, that means you have to be close enough to see your enemy, and that's always kind of a bad thing. All right, you see off in the distance the skyline of Melbourne approaches. Don't say I never took you to Australia. As we're already getting up to, once you get to a point where you can see the skyline in the distance, you're already in the suburbs, or, you know, the outer suburbs, the What are you saying? Are you concerned about my altitude? I really wish I could turn those off. There's probably is a circuit breaker to turn off your altitude warning, but I never bothered to figure it out. But that's the whole thing. We're going to stay low. Anyway, yeah, you see we're approaching the skyline of Melbourne, Australia. It is becoming the various outlying towns, suburban areas. This is where a nice, quiet place where people want to live, where they can still hop on the freeway, and 20 minutes later, be in the heart of one of the most, you know, most iconic cities in the world.
Altitude.
I'm talking about my attitude. Attitude. It's altitude, but still, doesn't like my attitude. All right, let's see. We got more Factorias. I love that this Factoria has train sidings with those train rails. Ooh, that gets me all happy. All right, so the plan is we're going to fly around Melbourne. We're going to do some urban canyon carving. That's my patented name for flying in between buildings at high speed in a very illegal manner. And I do mean patented. U.S. Patent Office. No, you can't have that. All right, there's some industrial activity. That looks like a refinery to me. It's not power. It looks like refining. Right there, but there's a lovely subdivision right there. Okay. And now we're getting to the suburbs of and outskirts of Melbourne proper. I'm going to slow this down a little bit here. Meanwhile, we're going to come in. There's a school. That's a power plant. Don't know. Could be nuclear. I don't know. Maybe not.
Altitude.
We're going to be hearing the altitude thing a lot. I have a feeling. I think every time you go below 500 feet, which I'm doing every 2 seconds, it gives you the altitude warning. All right, if we head out here, well, first of all, we'll go in there. There's this kind of the water makes kind of a loop. There's an amusement park there, and then there's a bunch of stadiums, or at least one major stadium, obviously soccer. That's cricket, that oval. Bunch of stuff there, and that is a lot of really cool looking buildings to represent Melbourne, Australia. I wonder what it looks like at night. Well, we can find out. All right, I'm gonna fly. Wait, we have to do the canyon carving. I need to find a nice straight boulevard. This one looks good right below us here. And then here is like where a river comes through. I'm always wondering whether they put a golf course there. That's just a park setting. All right, let's make it like a sharp turn here. Coordinated turn. That's actually. You hear the guy that's 5.4 Gs. And you can see him, he's blacking out. I'm blacking out. All right, it's coming down here. We're fine. So yeah, right. So there's a bunch of stadiums here. This is not the in there is the cricket stadium, but this is where the Melbourne Olympics were. This is, I believe, the Olympic field area.
Altitude.
So you'll see a combination of many different sporting venues available here. The oval ones are cricket, right? So there's a couple of the squarish ones are going to be soccer, but you can see there's tennis, there's pools. I assume there's basketball or other indoor sports there, but quite a different. Maybe who knows? Maybe bicycle racing or whatever. But yeah, this is all entertainment and sports related. This whole area here, it's kind of cool. All right, let's keep moving. But also, yeah, I mean, we're going to be moving kind of quickly, but you see some really cool looking buildings down there. Really wild looking stuff. And these buildings are only to be found here in Melbourne, Australia. I'm barely even flying this plane. I don't even know what I'm doing here. But I'm just enjoying this top-down view. There you go. We don't need this up here. It's just looking at the view. All right, where is the airport? Is it right back there behind us? Because all we got to do is fly. Oh yeah, I want to do a little. We're gonna like zip down here at high speed, like you shouldn't do in the real world.
Pull up.
Yeah, it's not like this. Is what it looks like from here. It's not good.
Altitude.
Yep, that's what it looks like from here. Whee! Oh my God, I'm dizzy now. All right, oh yeah, and here's the one. There's another amusement park. There's one on the other side. There's the one with the big Ferris wheel there. All right, where's the airport? This is frickin' industrial right here. Oh, I like these oval, like these weird. I think this is a horse racing track. Whatever. You see these kind of weird oval tracks a lot in Australia. These kind of asymmetrical ovals. It could be car racing though. And again, they also have a circus going on down there. Okay, cool. I mean, Melbourne looks like it has a lot of things to do. All right, where was I going to find an airport with a runway that's right up to the north here? All right, which way is north? Okay, it's this one here. This is the Melbourne International. Hey, do you think I'm asking for permission? No. But that's all right. I'm sure we'll find a free runway. All right, so we're already ready to start preparing for... So I'm going to slow way down. All right, I want to put my wing brakes out there. Get those. That'll help us slow way down. And now, well, once we slow it even further down. Hopefully, now, okay, gear came down once we slowed down enough. Let's see, there's the runway right there. That's what it looks like from here. All right, so now just carefully watching speed. I'm going to leave those wing brakes out most of the way, like there. Speed brakes out. That'll let us build up some power here. And flaps are at full, and the wing brakes are... You see those wings look really cool like that. Okay, we're a little high up. We're going to burn a little more altitude here. Reduce power a little bit more. I don't know if this plane has reversers, but I don't think on a big runway like this, as another plane on the runway, I don't care. He's leaving our runway. We're going to fly right over him. Whee! Alright, it's a little bit unstable right at the end. No, it's going to be a nice soft landing right there. Didn't even wake the baby. No, so I don't think... Yeah, there's no thrust reversers, right? Yeah. But you can quickly reduce speed by using those wing brakes. Okay? And then your regular brakes. Flaps back up to nothing. I like to always watch that stuff, that mechanical activity work. Very easy plane to land. Compared to some others, certainly. Again, it's the same thing as you want to monitor your speed carefully and make sure you're in the envelope, in the ranges for landing. But again, it's got these cool features. Like I have this analog control where I can open up these wing brakes there, and they don't have to be out all the way. I can control in very small increments where those wing brakes go to fully open and fully close. Then the flaps are just position 1 and position 2, but the wing brakes are fully analog, which is kind of cool. And I assume that's a real feature of the plane. One thing I don't believe we have is a working open canopy. I believe, I could be wrong, but I don't see any canopy buttons. Just some of the planes they didn't... Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, that's exit aircraft. That's not going to open the canopy. Hey, excuse me, Airbus. Excuse me. We're fine. We're fine. So this is Melbourne International. It's going to be one of the biggest airports in Australia. If not the biggest, and if not the busiest one. Since I think Melbourne is the biggest city, right? Or is it Sydney? It's one of those. They're close. It's not Canberra. It's not the capital. It's where we went the other day. Anyway, it is, and it's a lovely looking, unusual. You know, if it's got that mean look to it. I wish, you know, again, I wish they came in with more liveries. I'm gonna stop right here. All right, parking brake on. Yeah, so there's an exit. This would normally unlock, but not necessarily open. You have 2 canopy locks, one on each side. That one doesn't even do anything. And then you'd have one of these buttons here. That's HUD stuff. I think it's somewhere around here. There should be a canopy. Okay, that's fuel. Or sometimes it's on the side here, right there. Okay, so that... Okay, canopy does open. I just wanted... I didn't know for sure. There's your open canopy. And we still got the engines going. One of the great effects they have there is you can kind of tell, but when jet engines run in the intake area, because there's a vacuum, it tends to form condensation, so little clouds in the intake of a jet engine while it's spinning. And then as we turn off the engines, let's see, how do you do that? Where the engine masters are around here somewhere. Oh no, they're over here. Starter engine. Where's the engine masters, though? Cross view. Is it here? I thought it was around here. Rudder trim. I'll just check out what these buttons do while I'm here. Okay. I wonder if engine controls are actually over here. Now that I think about it. That's lighting, logo lights, interesting, Oxygen, emergency. Oh yeah, they're here. Okay. Alternator is there. So we turn those off. Now I guess that's not the engine masters though. Is that gonna turn if I turn the battery off? The engine, any engine controls here? No. It's kind of interesting in trying to figure out what I'm looking for here. If we get close, you can kind of see what the text says. Okay, there. None of these are engine. Right? Unless they're way back there. That's lighting. So I think I thought the engine stuff is all supposed to be back here. I think that. Or I don't know where it is. That's what I'm looking for. Interesting. I mean, they obviously used a real cockpit and, you know, tried to emulate it. So I wonder if there's an on-off switch here on the throttle. I already know what these are for. The starter engines, which is not kind of the engine master. I'm sure they have engine masters. There's lights. Okay, these pumps are all off, so... Yeah, I guess maybe there isn't an on-off for the engines. Makes it tricky on how you turn them on or off. There's a master arm. This is weapon stuff over here, and HUD, landing gear. Okay, that's autopilot stuff. Okay, let's check it out where everything is. This is storage generator. Okay, well, I did not figure out how to shut off the engines. It is what it is. There's got to be an engine management display. Let me just check one last time around here. Does this thing go over here? Okay. No op. What about these? Elevator emergency flaps. That's not it. None of these are engine related. These are also on. Where's off to? Oxygen. Parking brake. That's an interesting place for the parking brake to be. Windshield. Okay. Canopy defog. This is actually kind of interesting. Lights. Okay. These are all lights. Inoperable. Yeah, I don't see any engine control. CDU off. Doesn't matter. I would have thought the engine control, and it might actually be kind of on the far side of this thing, or you have to do this. Right, fuel cut off at minimum. That's what you have to do. Now I remember. And you have to do it for both of them. There we go. All right, that will shut off the engines. It's tricky, but I wanted to do it. So as the engines, which are slowly slowing down, slow down. The whole point of it is you can see the condensation, those little kind of cloud effects on in the intake there. Assuming you're watching in high def. By the way, you have to set your browser to 1440p to see the full resolution. I don't know, they've been de-resing everybody, you know. Okay, so it takes a while for engines to spin down, but slowly, and you can see that condensation effect is gone as they're slowing down because there's less negative air pressure, less vacuum in the intake. And these will slow to a complete stop. They're already almost stopped compared to where they go. It takes a while. I mean, you know, the jet turbine blades are quite balanced extremely, so there's no vibration. There it is. I love this, though. That's why I was like, I gotta figure out how to turn it off. I remember now, it's on the throttle, but you have to left click, right click, and do some jumping around. But there it is, stopped entirely. See from the back. Can't really see in the back. But there is you kind of see the exhaust. But sometimes they'll just sit there spinning because the wind is passing through them and they're so light. And they'll just do that when unpowered. All right, that was fun. I enjoyed it so much. We'll do some more Flight Simulate tomorrow. But for today, that's all there's going to be. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm going into the just chatting category for the Big Brains game part of the show. The Big Brain Games section. If you like to do these games, by all means, get out of here now because you don't want to know the answers if you're doing them later. But, you know, okay, let me get out of Flight Simulator. If you're not, or you don't care, or you want to help me out, stick around. We're almost ready to go. I'm in the just chatting category. Okay, I'm quit out of Flight Simulator. I do want to play 2020, Flight Simulator 2020 sometime. You know, the older one. They still updated. I just checked to make sure it still runs on my system. Okay, Big Brain Game number 1. The warm-up game is a Quirtle. It's a lot like the Wordle, which I already did today. Oops. Noisy, Plate, and Crumb are my standard 3 starting words. They have 15 different letters, all the different vowels, and a Y at the end. Okay, we got some issues here. This one on the lower right, I mean, it looks like a word with a Y, but it doesn't end in Y. So it's got to be cyber, which is, I don't know if I'd call it a word, but I'll give it to you. And then we have CO, and then there's an L. So it could be color. We know it doesn't have any other vowels except for the ones we've exposed. All right, now we got some issues. This one on the left could be stung or stunk, and this one on the lower left, on the upper left, the lower left could be brash or brass. We'll try brash. It was brass. Now, we're also going to have, now we only have 2 guesses left. So you go with stung or stunk. I guess we'll do stung first. We do have 2 guesses. It was stung. All right. That was it. That's the first game of the whatever 6 or 7 games that we play is down, is completed. All right. Next game's called The Revealed. It's from the fine folks at Britannica.com. It's a free game. They give it to you every day. You get a new one every day. Let's see what the category is. Science and tech, and the correct answer is going to have 7 letters in it, not 8 or 6. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, 7. 7 is the correct number that one must find in the letters in the answer. All right, the blank thing, the 7-letter thing, is the most blank blank of the blank. And the blank in blank from the blank. It is one of the brightest blank in the blank blank. Only the blank, blank, and sometimes blank are more blank. Blank is designated by the blank blank. When ancient blank named the blank blank for the blank ruler of the blank, and blank, also known as blank, they had no idea of the blank. I'm going to take some guesses here that are 7 letters. I don't know. No, I'm trying again. Maybe Jupiter. I mean, it seems like a planet. And you can guess as much as you want. And there's a few, right? There's a few 7-letter planets, right? All right. We didn't need anything. For some reason, it was a planet. And plus, you know, planets are named after the gods and blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of... Any of these reveals would have given it to us, I think. Not always. Actually, like Jove would have, but astronomers maybe not. But we have succeeded in finding the correct answer to today's revealed puzzle. Tomorrow there'll be another one. Oh yeah, how do we do? We needed 0 reveals and 0 hints. Hints are letters. Other players on average needed 4.7 reveals and 1.4 hints. 83% solved it pretty easy. Here's a picture of a Jupiter there. It's kind of an old one, I think, too. The next puzzle is the tightrope trivia puzzle. It's the 9-question time trivia. Today is the hardest of the week. It gets harder Monday through Sunday. Sunday, I do believe. It says Sunday right here. Today is January 4th. It's a time. So as soon as I hit the play button, it says 9-question mode. Let's just do it. You know what I'm talking about here. South America. Blah, blah, blah. Patagonia. Excuse me. And then we'll be playing piano later. Pinnipeds, water, flippers. I think peds. That was a hard one though. But peds means feet, and I think I knew the term, but I wasn't sure what it meant. So we could fire this as a clothing company. Oh, That's how right, and then it's that's how he got the name. He wanted the name Berkshire Hathaway. Right, playing the Carter album. Mr. Trump used to say Shrimp Daddy. Is it Jay-Z? Oh, it's Lil Wayne. How would I know that? Don't ask me rap questions, please. I would not have known that in a million years. The blank film was understood by only esoteric. Vocabulary's not a problem, but yeah, if you're gonna ask me like modern pulp rap culture, no. Separate in which case? Brown versus Board of Education. That's history there. But while because of what? Serving World War II? It's a wild guess, but okay. In terms of the steady speed that an object would freely spot at terminal velocity. Anyway, if you get them fast enough, you can still get a pretty good score because green shows is a must area. It's chartreuse. That also, if you're gonna do a quiz about booze, I should be able to get those. All right, we got an 8 out of 9. That's better than we did yesterday, and so technically this is a harder quiz. We did finish it, so we will get the difficulty bonus, but it's not going to be a great score because we missed a question. Over 2,000 walking encyclopedia. Not bad for considering missing a question. Okay, you try this. It's not that easy. We do it on a daily basis here. The next game is called the Reunion, and then we're going to do the connections. This Reunion is fairly new. It's kind of a combination between a crossword puzzle and solve the 5-letter word game puzzle. It has kind of aspects of both of those, but it's a little different than each of those. All right, so if it's a green letter, it's in its final position. If it's yellow, it needs to move, but it has to stay on the column or row. And if it's white, it needs to move, but it has to stay off the current column or row. It's going to move to a different row and column. But not counting these certain columns. Anyway, but there's also some clues like this A here, because it has to be on the row. It's either at the end or after the S and M, and it's got to be there. You can only go forward. I'm trying to get to solve all these words in 17 moves or less. I just made one. But this C is not necessarily, it could be smack because there is a K. I'm going to think it's going to be smack. So we'll put the K there. And yes, it all turned green, meaning smack was the correct word. All right, so we got one word down, quite a few to go. Let's see what we go here. Some other things I know is this I and this T are on this vertical word here. And there may be another T, but maybe not. But not where they are. So between this S and this I is a different vowel. And this N has to be there. I have no idea what that word is. Okay, what else do we got here? Okay, yeah, S blank T blank I. That could be a word, right? But what word could it be? I mean, there has to be a vowel between the S and the T, presumably. What could that be? Because it can't be an I. I think it could only be an A or an E. If it's an A, can I make a word, though? It could be an A or an E, because it could be this A or this E down here. And it's not necessarily a word. This one here, this N has to go here. I kind of think the N has to go there. All right, that was a good guess. But it's only going to help us. We're trying to get, I like this game. I'm going to take my time. I'm having a good time, all right? Look, what about here? Okay, the S is not there. Again, the T is not going to go there. It's not going to go there or there. So does that imply it has to go there? Ists? Because it can't be TN something. But this I has to go. I think this I has to go here. Yeah, because to start words effectively. That was another good guess. But the T is not there or there. But my logic, it has to go there. All right, I'm just gonna try this. Okay, correct, because logic. All right, but this T probably doesn't go on this row column. Probably somewhere else in the row. Is this just going to be insist? INSIS or insists? Because we have an S and an I. It's got to be insists. That's okay. Now, okay, we're 8 moves in. We've all made productive moves. So you know you're doing the right move if the letter you move turns, or the other one turns green, the interchanging one. Okay, what do we have here now? This could be slept, right? Or I think it might be slept. Okay, now I think it is definitely slept. All right. By the way, this is, you probably, if you play this game, it'll probably be kind of confusing until you play it a bunch, and then your brain starts wired to be looking for these kind of weird patterns. All right, so it's more green letters. We have the less letters that have to move. Now, one thing I know about this E and this H here on the right side is they have to stay in the column. But I think the H is going to go after the T to make the word, or at least part word, think. But yeah, and the ET, that was a great move because we got both of the letters greened. And it's just going to be rethink, right? RETHINK. Okay, we're moving. 12 moves in. They've all been good. I'm trying to make my par of 17 or less. Technically, we could make this in 15, but we got to get, or 16, but we got to get them all right from here. So no mistakes. So this is going to be incur, I think, and this will be a CHE word because we have the U, which both is available and has to move. And now this letter here is going to be, so now we know this is going to be cheat, and this E is going to go here to make set. Okay, we got it at 16. So that's a win because anything under 17 is like under par, like golf. You can see my average is 17.3, so 17 or less will help bring my average down. Other players, that was a tough one, but we played the basically perfect game there. I think if we did a little bit better, we might have been able to do it 15. But that's my record is 14. That's only if the game is kind of already set up for you correctly. That was fun though. Okay, we're moving along. We played the reunion. We played the trivia. We played the revealed. Now it is time for New York Times connections. Let's just dive in. Okay, we got 16 words. We got to move them. There's wordplay and misdirection kind of involved. I'm going to read them out. We're going to have to group these into groups of 4. We don't have to. It's the game. So we've got to make 4 groups of 4. Okay, so grump, copy, block, print. Oh, this is going to be hard. I can already tell. Issue, scan, crank, sack, reel, e-tail. It's not a real word. Tackle, wind or wind. Hard to say. Drear. That's not much of a word. Blitz, coil, and addition. I think grumpy, dreary, cranky, and windy. Or is it blocky? Like you add a Y to make a negative emotion or something. It's got to be, right? Misdirection, you fuckers. It's not, it has nothing to do with that. I love this. I love this game. It's really hard. I like it. And it's a classic game that once you've seen the answer, you're like, oh yeah, I should have got that. All right, blitz. Like, let me see if I can think of something else here. A coil is round. What else is something else? A reel is round. A crank is round. Oh, tackle and a reel are part of fishing, right? Like if I said a crank, a tackle, a reel, and a coil, like a coil of fishing line, would that be right? All right, this may not be a big win today. What would be the match though? If this is 3 of these are correct. a wind. Oh, I guess this is more coil, crank, reel, and wind are more spooling of things. All right, well, we got one, and I'm happy at this point. It should get easier because as you remove words, potential words, you know, you have fewer things to try to group together. Okay, issue. Then we have, you know, sack could be to fire somebody. Tackle, block, sack, and blitz seem like football terms to me. Let's just try it. Okay. Defensive football player things. Fine. All right. So that makes show even easier. We only need to get one more, and then the last one which will fall out. All right. Copy, drear. See, I thought dreary, grumpy. But now there's, yeah, we definitely see how those don't match with the things we know. Let's see. Issue, print, edition, copy. I mean, those seem like they, or scan something that would be part of those three. I'm going to go with this one. Nice. Paper publication. All right, so now we can figure out what this last thing is here because drear. Yeah, okay, I get it now. You take the first letter off and you get something that's the back of something. So drear comes to rear, grump becomes rump, tail becomes tail, and S becomes can. So these are all one letter plus the back end of something. All right, we got it. Not a perfect game. Solid. Synonyms for butt plus one. All right, they have a sense of humor there. Synonyms for butt plus a starting letter. That's pretty wild, you know. These people seem like they're I don't know, they're having a good time. Maybe it's an AI. I don't even know. Wow, I solved it. I didn't think I would, but I never think I'm going to. Hey, there's one more game to play here. And that is the Octurl, which is a lot like, it's one of these 5-letter word games. It's a lot like the Quirtle. I'm going to do 2 of these. We'll start with the Extreme, which is the hard one, and then we'll do the Rescue, which is the ultimate hard one. I just like these, solve these 5-letter word games. I've been doing for years, and I think at this point I've memorized a lot of these patterns and like what is this here? Nosy. It's got to be nosy. Having 3 starting words that always give you at least a few right off the bat, you know, that are basically out for you. This could be puppy or puffy on the lower left. Let's wait a bit there. This could be flank. It could be a bunch of things, but I don't want to guess flank because it uses the F and the K. And I was right, too. The F was super important, so now I think I know this is going to be puffy because it has an F in it. This one up here has F. It's got to be fault, F-A-U-L-T. It's spelled out basically, and those are the only places those letters can go. We have B-U. This could be buddy, right? B-U-D-D-Y, maybe in the upper left there, which is also good. The first time we use the D, and we're going to need that D. We got another whole game after this, and then I'm going to set up the piano, play piano for a while. Should be fine. It'll take me at least 5 minutes to set up the piano. All right, this is interesting because the Y is not at the end. I think this is going to be loyal. It does fit. It's not royal because there's no R. Now we know there's 2. Oh, we already knew there's 2 L's. This is going to be dwell on the lower right, I believe. And we have 1 left until we get to the last game. Let's see. This is going to be sword, S-W-O-R-D, in order to use all 5 letters. All right, that was the Extreme. This is definitely the hard game. This is the one where I feel like, hey, if we get this one, you know, we're doing well because there's a lot of, you know, I don't use my starting words. There's a lot of randomness involved since it's 4 random words in addition to the 8 random words you got to find. Let's see. We got, let's see. I and Y are not used, but there's an R in here. So it could be drank, brand. It could be a million things. I don't know if, okay, here's one. Let's see. It could be swarm. Let's try swarm. It was smart. Oh, that's okay. We're having a good time anyway. This one here, that wasn't what I was. By the way, that was has an M and L, and we know there's an E and a P. So it could be impel, right? I really think it's going to be impel, which is good because we hadn't used that I anywhere before, and the I is handy down there. Oof. Let's see what we got up here in the upper right. We know where the A is, we know where the N is, and there's a T and a W, so we should be able to figure it out. And the T, it could be Tawny, T-A-W-N-Y. I really think it could be. Oh, and that was useful to find that Y. And now we know there's an R and a P. I think this is going to be Harpy. I mean, it's certainly a reasonable guess, and it could be Harpy. All right, very good. And we needed that H. We still got 3 guesses and 3 words to find before the end of the big brain segment. Let's see. This one here is going to be hard. All we know is there's an I and an H. But could it be khaki? C-K-H-A-K-I? I mean, it could be. Do I feel good about it? I do. Let's move along here. Oh, and the K is even used somewhere. Nice. So I think this word is going to be drank or crank. C-R-A-N-K or D-R-A-N-K. Ooh, 50-50. That's not good, but it is what it is. That's why I say there's a lot of luck involved. We only have 2 guesses left, and we got 2 words to find. Now, this one, on the other hand, H-O-R, and then we know there's no other... I think I'm going to guess on this one. I have a little more feeling that it's cord, and if it is, it might give us some useful information over here on this side here. Like, is it drank or crank? But it might not be cord. Oh, nice. It was cord, and there's a D in this word on the right. So now we know it has to be drank. So we actually succeeded on today's daily rescue. That's the hardest game. I don't know if you tried this before, Octortles. Woohoo! I'm going to drink to that, some Diet Coke. Diet Coke to that. Let's see how it goes. Not bad. Get it, Mo. He's using a scratching post. All right. Well, believe it or not, that ends the Big Brain Games for yet another 24-hour period until we reconvene tomorrow at roughly 11 a.m., 30 a.m. Pacific, whatever time. I don't know what time you are in. All right. But I got to put my mid-roll on and change things around and blah, blah, blah. We're in the music category, but I got a ton of stuff to do. So let me run my mid-roll, and we'll see you on the other side. mic for this part of the thing. Different mic. It's a long story. It's a long story, but I changed mics so that you can't hear me. When I use the other mic, you can hear me. You really hear a lot of tapping on the keyboard. It was bothering me for the first couple of years, for the first at least year. And it's just that mic is extremely sensitive. It's 14 inches away from my mouth. This mic you have to get right up and close to have any sound, which is fine. All right, we're gonna do a little warming up here on Ken's Piano Lounge. Okay, welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. What is the Piano Lounge? Basically, it's just a list of songs here. There we go. This is nice. This lounge act song list. Okay, things like "Say a Little Prayer," classic back rack song. For some reason, my camera's working today. I mean, it's not like doesn't perfect, but at least I'm not white, you know, completely wiped out, washed out. Excuse me. All right, next song, this one here. I don't think I did this whole song. I'm kind of distracted. Oh, let's see how we do these rest of the songs. I mean, I memorized them, hopefully. The point of the lounge act is to be able to sit down on a piano and just play, you know? That was Flashdance. What a feeling. Do you know this one? Of course, that is Girl from Ipanema, classic song. Gilbert, whatever it is. Okay, next song. Another Todd Rundgren song I like to do for whatever reason. It's called Just One Victory. in fact, that's more, it's kind of obscure material. It's a somewhat more well-known songs. Like this is a well-known Billy Joel song. About halfway through the set here. Of course, that's Misty. Got to play that if you're an Orange Piano player, or they'll shoot you. I don't want to get shot. All right, let's do some more. Oh, Paul Williams for the Carpenters coming up. Called We've Only Just Begun. we've just begun. Let's do this song from I like to do from Superman the movie, 1977. Right, still by John Williams, though. Such a great song, too. Can You Read My Mind by John Williams. Okay, let's do some of these Sheryl Crow songs. Or one of them. All right, here's it. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Might not go very well. Let's try to sing a song. There's a man who leads a life of danger. With everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. Oh, with every move he makes, well, another chance it takes. Odds on he won't live to see tomorrow. Beware of pretty faces you may find. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Oh, be careful careful what you say. Don't give yourself away. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. It's not good. Sunning in the Riviera one day, then bleeding in a Bombay alley next day. Oh, don't let the wrong word slip when kissing persuasive lips. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Look at it, it's an agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Look at it, it's an agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Somebody's I have to sing that one. All right, let's do some more instrumentals. Let's do Up and Away. Just a couple more to do here. drops of Jupiter by train at the end. I think it's going to have to be it for today. I mean, I have plenty of gas left in the tank, but I like to leave a little in the tank for tomorrow because there'll be more streaming out. Tomorrow will be my Nagel print shirt. It's a custom shirt, by the way. I got this because of the movie Thor Ragnarok. Sorry, hold on. With the artificial reverb turned off. Thor Ragnarok. I don't know if you guys know this, but Bruce Banner, after he de-Hulkifies, he's, it's a long story, but he doesn't have any clothes because he was Hulk, and then nothing fit him. So he took a bunch of Iron Man, what's his name, Tony Stark's clothes that were lying around, and it was kind of a jacket and a Nagel print shirt that looks like this. So I got a reproduction of that Nagel print shirt. So like basically wearing this is what I call my adventure, my Hulk, what's not Hulk, it's Dr. Bruce Banner cosplay. Nobody's gonna get it, but except for me. But that's the important thing that I get it. I'm Dr. Bruce Banner. Who the heck is that? I don't even care. Doesn't matter. All right, got a little bit of Diet Coke left. I'm gonna have a sip here, but basically, yeah. Tomorrow, if you like this show, there'll be lots more tomorrow. Again, the musical will be flying around, big grand games, and then a musical segment which will not involve a keyboard. It'll involve some kind of guitar, possibly this one, possibly a different one, possibly the bass. I don't think the bass because I played the bass recently. Played the bass yesterday, so some kind of guitar performance tomorrow with some ice. Oh, all right. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I guess I should rate Charles so he knows I'm around. Charles MP88. That's my friend. He's in Vegas walking around. It's pretty cool. I think that's right. Let's see. It'll tell me in a second. Okay. All right. We can rate him. All right. See you guys next time, which is tomorrow. 5 days a week kind of thing. All right. Enroll.